The Boston Celtics fell just short of making history last season, as they were one win away from becoming the first team in NBA history to overcome an 0-3 series deficit. They lost Game 7 on its home floor, and the Celtics were eliminated in the Eastern Conference Finals. It was clear that following the Celtics' disappointing finish, they needed to make changes if they wanted to win a championship. The Celtics didn't make too many offseason moves, but they did make one big splash that could potentially put them over the top. What's going on, everyone? It's Luca here, back with another video. In this one, I'm going to tell you why the Boston Celtics should be feared. If you can do me a solid favor, please hit a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more NBA content just like this. As always, your support is greatly appreciated. There's only one team that scares me in the East. It's not the defending Eastern Conference champions, especially if they do not go on to make that trade for Damian Lillard. It's not the Milwaukee Bucks. It's no other team. It's the Boston Celtics. I believe the Celtics will be the best version of themselves, and it's because the Celtics' biggest splash for this season saw them land a huge piece. The Celtics traded away fan favorite Marcus Smart to the Memphis Grizzlies in a 3-team trade, which got them Kristaps Porzingis and a couple of picks in return. I was surprised when this trade went down. I did not see this one coming, and the fact that the Celtics traded Marcus Smart, a beloved player who meant so much to that franchise over the years, shows you that this team is willing to make big sacrifices in order to win a championship. I think Porzingis is going to bring the Celtics team to a new level. Offensively, he's going to fill in a lot of the gaps, and he's going to be an amazing secondary option to Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. No one on the Celtics can do what Porzingis does when it comes to post scoring, and he can shoot threes off the dribble like nobody's business. He shot at 38.5% from three on around 6 attempts per game. He was super effective on catch and shoot threes, and his combination of volume and efficiency allowed him to rank in the 93rd percentile in B-Ball Index's perimeter shooting metric. And it's crazy because Porzingis is doing this while being a menacing 7'3". Porzingis is going to be an absolute nightmare for opposing defenses to deal with, and he's going to open things up even more for Tatum and Brown. Just imagine the two-man game of Jason Tatum and Kristaps Porzingis. It's going to be absolutely elite. They're two players above 6'9" that can score from anywhere on the court, and they're very good in the pick and roll. And then for Jaylen Brown, defenders can sit on his left hand, but now he's going to have Porzingis next to him. So Porzingis being there is going to open up the stars of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown like never before. He's going to bring their games to a whole new level. And defensively, people forget Porzingis is one of the best bigs in the game when it comes down to it. He ranks top 5 in points allowed per pick and roll. He's developed into an elite drop defender, and he averages close to 2 blocks per game. The Celtics now have 3 elite defensive bigs in Robert Williams, Al Horford, and Kristaps Porzingis. Also, the Celtics are getting Kristaps Porzingis following the best season of his career. Porzingis last season averaged around 23 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks per game on 62.7% true shooting. He played for a bad Wizards team, so you got to account for that. I mean, he did get a lot of touches, and teams weren't really game planning for Kristaps Porzingis, but he had a fantastic season, and he showed up on both ends of the court. So Porzingis is coming off of one of his best seasons, if not his best season of his career. And I know there is a lot of concern about Kristaps Porzingis and his inability at times to stay healthy. And of course, he did have the news about his plantar fasciitis situation, but Porzingis is expected to be ready in time for the start of training camp after being diagnosed with plantar fasciitis in his right foot. So that is good news for C's fans. Porzingis should be ready to go for the start of the season with his new team. Now, while Kristaps Porzingis makes the Celtics better, the Celtics are going to need Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to take a step forward and improve as well. Tatum has developed into one of the best players in the NBA, and he's shown that he's a fantastic scorer and elite wing defender. Last season, he had an amazing year. He averaged 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists per game on 16.7% true shooting, and he finished top 5 in MVP voting. Let's see if Tatum can follow up that production and do even better this season. As for Jaylen Brown, He's coming off a big offseason. He just signed a massive 5-year Supermax extension worth up to $303.7 million. So Brown got paid. And over the last 3 seasons, Brown has become a strong 3-level scorer as well as a solid 3-point shooter. And he's also a very good on-ball defender. The biggest thing for Brown is his ball handling skills. Brown's inability to dribble with his left hand has become that thing that everybody pokes fun at, and he needs to get better with his dribbling skills, especially come playoff time. If Brown and Tatum can improve this season, though, and Porzingis plays his game, the Celtics should be the best team in the East. Of course, they're going to have to get out the cobwebs and show that they can all coexist together. I mean, anytime you have a player like Porzingis who can play as a star coming into the mix, it's going to take some time for the team to adjust, but the Boston Celtics have a legitimate big 3, and they do have a trio now that can cause some damage in the Eastern Conference. They have a borderline superstar in Jason Tatum. They have a star-type player in Jaylen Brown and even Kristaps Porzingis. And then you got good supporting players. Derek White is going to have an increased role, especially with no more Marcus Smart, and he played solid for that team going into the playoffs and throughout the playoffs as well. And the Boston Celtics have a strong rotation of about 7 or 8 guys who they can play in the playoffs. So when you look at the Celtics team, they don't have too many issues. They're one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league. They have solid defenders all over the roster, and they have 2 strong on-ball stars in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And now you're adding in Kristaps Porzingis, who could potentially be the piece that puts this team over the top. And if Porzingis stays healthy, I can't imagine him not being an effective X factor for this team. It's so hard to guard him. He does good things defensively as well. And most importantly, he's going to space the floor wonderfully for this Boston Celtics team in offense. An offense that is going to thrive. The Celtics are favorites to win the NBA championship, and it's for good reason. This team has what it takes, and this team is due. They fell short in 2022 against the Golden State Warriors. They fell short in 2023 when it looked like they had a clear path to the NBA Finals. Let's see what 2024 has in store for them. But don't be surprised if this is the year that the Celtics finally get the job done and win a championship. And while many people were not a fan of the trade that sent Marcus Smart to Memphis, this is a trade that could be the reason that Boston finally gets over the top and wins a championship. So what do you think of the Celtics going into the season? Do you think the Celtics have what it takes to win the championship? And do you think this team will be the best team in the Eastern Conference? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Again, guys, hit a like on the video. It does help a ton. And subscribe to the channel for more. That is it for me. This is Lucas signing off. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all again in the next video.